That's perfectly fine. They are an ally, okay? This is a person who you will call upon when perhaps you have a domestic worker, maybe you have a plumber or someone to come and do some work for you, exterminate your home.
Back at me and said, hey, you want to ride? You know, because it's a 9-10 hour ride across the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm like, me? You know, you're going to give me a ride? Now, you know, there's nothing wrong with me, but if you'll ride me around, I'm taking it.
On different levels, which is not like right now my washing machine is down. I've had it 3 years. The thing is almost a family member, okay? But so the drum is not spinning, it's no longer swish swish swishing, but the air portion works.
So a popular Nigerian comedian is admitting that Ghana is the country that basically made him. Ghana is the country that made him become very popular, because before he came to Ghana, he wasn't all that popular, especially in Nigeria and even in Ghana. But that particular show in Ghana projected him to a different height. And also I have other foreigners, Americans, sharing their experiences living and visiting Ghana. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. You don't lose anything by liking, so just give the video a thumbs up. Let's go.
But one thing is for sure.
Okay,
my
for sure.
career had its major kickoff from Ghana. Wow. I'll forever
Ghana.
be grateful to Ghana for it. I'm not joking.
Why are you saying that?
That's the truth, because when I came to Ghana, I did this show you
This
played. Nobody knew me. But immediately after that show that night, because I was the first mentor.
Yeah. Yes.
The whole Ghana was watching it. A day before, nobody knew me.
Oh.
Everywhere, nothing. It was only they were going to Oga Desmond and Oga Shegu. But immediately after that, the following day, from the hotel that we were staying, people were snapping pictures with me and Desmond, Elliot and Shegu. Both of them now sat and watched me enjoy what they were enjoying. And since that time till now, Ghana has never stopped showing me love. And that is why I love Ghana. And added to that, Banco and Tilapia.
All right. Good afternoon, Africa, North America. I want to talk to you about something that happened to me once I got off the airplane in Accra. To the left of me, they had a bunch of wheelchairs and men standing there that would have push you around. Now, I looked at the wheelchairs because the guy looked back at me and said, hey, you want to ride? You know, because it's a 9-10 hour ride across the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm like, me? You know, you're going to give me a ride? Now, you know, there's nothing wrong with me, but if you'll ride me around, I'm taking it. So they said, yeah, we'll give you a ride. I said, I got in that chair. They pushed me, took me to the elevator, took me down, took me straight through customs. Then I said, because I knew they were going to kick me out of the wheelchair. I said, man, they're going to kick me out of this wheelchair because they're going to realize that, hey, this guy's nothing wrong with him. But no, then they took me to the carousel to get they then brought another person to get my bags, put those. And I said, okay, they got to be getting tired of me because they're going to say something after a while. And I said, well, can you take me over to the exchange so I can exchange my money? They said, sure. So I've got two guys now, right? Walking around, pushing me over here, carrying me over there. And I said, all right, I know they're about to kick me off. So we go through customs. Everything's good. They're still carrying me around. So now we're at the end. And I'm like, all right. So I want to thank you guys. And you know, I'm about to pay them. And I said, but you know, it'd be so nice if y'all had the service go to the car. They wheeled me all the way to my car with my luggage. And of course, you know, I paid them good. You know, I paid them good because a lot of times the key is when you got good services, people don't mind paying you. Especially coming from the United States after a 10-hour plane ride. We're tired. We could carry things around, but them guys did so great at that airport, man. It was just amazing. You got to have that experience. And even though I called my cousin, I said, man, I'm in a wheelchair. He said, you know, wheelchair, everybody's going to think you are unhealthy. I told him, I said, I don't care about that. All I know is I'm riding around. Now, in the U.S., if you do that, that's questionable. But there they was like, man, I guess I am paying. But I was just very happy about that because I had been riding a long time and I didn't care what people think. All I know was I'm being rolled around everywhere where I want to go. All right, guys, you have a good one. And by the way, on that airplane, there were a lot of engineers from the United States coming to Ghana. I want all the other African countries to realize that something's going on because they're bringing in a lot of U.S. engineers, software engineers into Ghana. I don't know what they're doing, but hint, hint, other countries.
Surviving Ghana 101. Let me preface my video first by saying, in America, there are black people who commit random acts of violence against other black people. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, on to the regular scheduled programming. Surviving Ghana 101. Living in Ghana, you want to have 3 types of people in your life. This can be 3 individuals. It doesn't have to be multiple people, but it has to be 3 people in these separate categories. Number 1, you want to have a Ghanaian person who is on your socioeconomic level, the equivalent of your socioeconomic level in the United States. So if you were a professor, you're a professional, you are a school principal, even an educator, you want to find someone who would be the equivalent of that here in Ghana. This person does not need to be a friend. In other words, you don't have to go to brunch with them, right? You have your friends that you go to brunch with, but this person may not necessarily be someone you go to brunch to. He may not invite you over to their house for Friday dinner. That's perfectly fine. They are an ally, okay? This is a person who you will call upon when perhaps you have a domestic worker, maybe you have a plumber or someone to come and do some work for you, exterminate your home, and maybe they try to inflate the price. Let's say they act up, right? You call on this person. You don't handle it yourself, okay? You don't call Kwaku and be like, Kwaku, why you did X, Y, Z? No, okay? We're gonna call her Auntie Grace. You call Auntie Grace and let Auntie Grace gather Kwaku, okay? Number 2, the second type of person that you need in your life living here in Ghana. You need someone from the African Ascendant community, aka a diasporan. This, and not just any diasporan. This is someone who has lived here 10 plus years. They are a veteran. They know the ins and outs. They know how to navigate the country. They have learned how to live here successfully and thrive. The reason why you want a veteran is because they're going to give you the skinny, okay? They're not going to give you the YouTube version of living in Ghana, and you want the skinny because that's how you survive, okay? Okay, number 3, and I'm getting in real close because I want you sisters to hear me. This particularly applies to you. It doesn't really apply to the men. The third type of person that you're going to need in your life is a male head. And I know you're probably thinking, well, why can't this third type fit into categories 1 or 2? Because you don't want to be calling the same person all the time when you encounter various problems. You're going to have to spread it out, okay? You don't want to overwork people and overburden them because then they ain't going to want to help you. So spread out the work. So as a woman living here in Ghana, you're going to need a male head. This definitely is going to have to be somebody on your socioeconomic level and even perhaps higher if you can find someone. This individual, this male, is going to handle conflicts for you. As a woman, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how successful you are, how assertive you may think that you are. Particularly if you are dealing with male employees, perhaps you may have to fire them. You are going to want a male to handle that for you. Any type of conflict situation, right? I don't care if you have the best conflict resolution skills, or you are going to want a man to intercede on your behalf because the structure of the society is different here in terms of how women are viewed. And I will leave it at that because you're intelligent and you can read between the lines.
Every opportunity that you have to have your phone or any sort of appliance serviced or have insurance on it, take it if you live in Ghana. Take it. Because a lot of times you can get things repaired. You can get them repaired inexpensively, relatively. But the work ethic and the pride about doing things is very different. So normally what happens, or can potentially happen, is that you get something repaired and something gets damaged in it or accidentally gets adjusted so that you end up having to come back again. And I've experienced it on different levels, which is not like right now, my washing machine is down. I've had it 3 years. The thing is almost a family member, okay? But so the drum is not spinning. It's no longer swish, swish, swishing, but the air portion works. And so I saw a service that will come out and fix your washing machine. And I've had such spotty experiences with having things repaired, like my daughter's, tablet, where yes, it got repaired, but then the button that you push to cut it on is not quite right. Like it's never been back up to standard. And the incident with her tablet happened just at the time that the insurance for it had expired. I mean, like it was literally like a 1 month difference, so it was nothing we could do about it. But I'm sharing this to say that, there's still a lot to be said about the integrity and the work ethic behind products. So in the States, this is usually how it goes. We want to fix your product with such goodness. We want it done so well that you keep coming back. We want to do everything. We want to fix it so perfect. You really want to return. There's an exception a little bit with auto, but we can catch them up because everybody got that one mechanic that's just a mechanic, okay? But it's kind of the opposite here. Like you'll take something in to be repaired and something that wasn't disturbed in it gets disturbed, okay? So there's really like this attitude of, yes, I'm repairing it, but I'm going to break something too to ensure that you come back. So, that's just what I've experienced. So what I'm saying to you all is be conscious of your equipment, your technology, your appliances. If there's any sort of warranties or insurance, even if it's kind of fading out, have it looked at. And then I'm going to say, when you find you a diamond, somebody that you can trust, hold tight, because you really can't pass your stuff off for repair to very many people here. Like the integrity, the decency, the likelihood of being sort of, cheated. I even remember one time we got a cell phone that was missing the back camera. Looked all right when we first got it, but it was missing that. So you just have to be conscious that they just see providing service a little bit different than we would, and it's going to cost you in the end. You don't want to pay 2 and 3 times. So I'm going to give the washing machine away because I don't want to have it repaired. I've learned that sometimes it's better to just buy a new one than to have them service it, because if they service it, they'll go in and tinker with something else, or I'll get like a questionable charge, no, I'm not willing to pay that. I think you may have maybe even made up what this part costs. So this is just another word for the wise.
In Ghana, you need to be careful of some people who don't fear God. So this man is called Emmanuel Darkwa. I bought a phone from him like 2 months ago, and the phone had an issue with the camera. It wasn't working. After waiting for a month, the conclusion was he can't change the phone, but he can give me a refund of 2,000 cedis. He said, okay, maybe I'll use the 2,000 to repair the phone. And it's been 2 months of calling and messages and empty promises, and he never paid it. This is his picture. I'm just sharing this so nobody falls for his trap again. Thank you.
As a Ghanaian American, I am never going to pay the full price without at least negotiating. That's the one thing Ghana has taught me, is that when you're buying something, you have to negotiate. Negotiate.
The Girls Trip in Ghana continues, and here's another day in my life in Accra. We've been so active since we've been here, so today we decided we're gonna have a chill day. We made our way to Kempinski just to relax and have a little lunch. It's basically our last full day here, so we're gonna have to make the most out of it and relax, because work is gonna call our names when we're back. But let's not think about that now. We ordered some pineapple and watermelon juice, had some jollof rice and chicken. On the way back, we drove past the Independence Square, so we decided to step out as if I haven't been here 100 times before. And yeah, our matcha search still continues, so we we went to Just Matcha. The menu had the funniest names. Played some Ludo while we waited for our matchas. The handwritten notes were so cute. I went for the mango matcha, which was really refreshing, but I'm gonna have it a bit stronger next time. It was delicious though. In the evening, I decided to not change and keep my dress on because I loved it so much. I just threw on some heels and then we went to Exhale Lounge. And guys, Accra is really sad that we're leaving because it started pouring, but the vibes continued. The next morning we had our very last breakfast and then we made our way to get a massage at Kwale. This is the best ending to this trip. The spa at Kwale's is amazing. I'm definitely gonna be back here. So we started off in the sauna, then the steam room, and then I had a massage. After that, we spent some time at the pool, and the pool area here is amazing. I also stayed here before and I love it. Anyways, a trip to Ghana wouldn't be a trip to Ghana without going to the market. I stocked up on my spices and seasoning. But Makula Market is not for the weak. You get overstimulated real quick, but I love it. We got a few more bits and bobs. I also bought some precassette, and also I need some buff fruit. I think we bought 9 buff fruits that day. We also bought some avocado, and then we realized we haven't had sugarcane since being here. Well, after 10,000 steps, we made our way, stopped off at Capital for some takeaway. We had like 1 hour left to make it to the airport. We ate, showered, and then it was sadly time to go to the airport. We really wanted to cry, but we'll be back soon. Bye, guys.
Nobody actually warned me about this before I started noticing it, or should I say paying attention to it. The traffic lights in Accra, they are not here for fancy. See, I'm talking about in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, as late as 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Those traffic lights, they are still on doing their job. Now, the first time that I noticed it, I was, in a cab that was driving through the city. And I was thinking that it would be like some places where, in the night, everything would just relax, everything would just ease out, you get it, because it is in the night, people are going to, one way or the other, manage themselves on the road. But that wasn't what I saw in Accra. There was this intersection, and cars actually stopped. Now, the funny part of the thing is that no car was coming from the other side. The road was completely empty. But you know what? The red light was on for cars on this side to stop. And I was just like, wow, who exactly is it that we are waiting for, that the red light is on? But, the funny thing of all of these things, nobody was rushing. Cars just stayed and they obeyed the traffic light. They were obeying it as if there was one invisible traffic officer that was somewhere there watching them. You see, at some point, I even started feeling guilty in my mind for even thinking of, beating the traffic. I was just feeling guilty, telling myself that you will have to wait your turn. I had that naughty thought of, let's just go after them, nobody's here, no car. And this is the part that I would say that reality hit me. It is not just about the traffic lights, no. It is something very deep here. Something about order being very deep here. So that even when the city feels busy, loud, chaotic, there is still this structure that is underneath everything. You see, there's this structure that is, holding everything together in a way that you are not going to notice it immediately till you slow down and pay attention. And when it hit me, it made me to realize that sometimes we think discipline only gets to show up when people are watching you. No, that is where most of us actually get it wrong. But right here in Accra, I have seen that when the streets are quiet, the system is not sleeping. The traffic light wasn't sleeping. The traffic light just kept doing what it was put there to do, regulating cars movement, okay? There was no drama, there was no shortcut, there was no, it is late, so let us ignore it. It was just a consistency of the system. And I want to tell you guys that it stayed with me. That thing stayed with me more than I had expected. And this is because if a city can stay that organized, steady, even in the background, then there is a lesson in how we move in our own lives too. You get it? There is a lesson. Anyways, I want you to please follow me because I will be sharing the real side of living in Ghana, the things that people don't get to talk about often, the things that I only notice, you get it, or you get to notice when you pay close attention.
As a Nigerian girl living in Ghana, these are some differences I've experienced or I've noticed between Ghanaian men and Nigerian men living in Ghana. Some. This is not a proof that Ghanaian men are perfect or they are the best. But I've noticed since I started making friends online, mostly people coming as friends are mostly men, Ghanaian men, Nigerian men, and men from different countries. I'm glad to see today that my best friend in this country is from a different country. I think from Cameroon. Togo, right? He's my best friend. Ghanaian men, when they come into your life, be it as friend or as anything, they have a lot to contribute. they care so much about your well-being. They want to know more about you. They want to help you. When I say help must not come as money, or help can come in different form. They are ready to help you through advice, through encouragement, through words of wisdom. Like, they have different ways they want to help you. They want to contribute in your life. They want to know what you are doing. They want to know what brought you. They want to know how you are living, whether you are okay, if you're fine, if you're comfortable. Same thing with other foreigners, other people from different countries that I've met too. But you see, my special country people, like some Nigerian men, once they come into your life, be it as friend or as anything, they don't even care to know what you are doing. They don't care to know how you are living. They don't care to know what brought you to this country. They don't care to know if you're comfortable. All they care about is how they are going to meet you, how you are coming to visit them. When am I going to see you? Like, they want to turn it to a fight. If they eventually ask you, do you know how to cook as a Nigerian, you say yes, you have great problem for yourself. Every day, the only conversation you get from them is, when are you coming to cook for me? Cook for me, come and cook for me. When am I going to meet you? When are you going to visit me? Like, don't you guys have any other thing to offer in someone's life as a friend? I made a video, I made a post, I'm looking for a friend here in Ghana. If people came and all you care about every day is come and cook for me, when am I going to see you? When will you visit me? Like, no question. No, where are you from? Said they don't care to know what brought you into this country. Know what are you doing? Are you doing any business? Are you like, they don't care to know. They just want to meet you. They just want you to come and cook for them. I don't know if it's part of their culture or it's one of the way they know a good woman. I don't know. But you see, Ghana men, they want to know a lot about you. They want to advise you. They want to tell you things to do so that you do not involve yourself in any form of problem in their country. They want to tell you how to live. Even people from other countries, they want to encourage you. People from Cameroon, people from Togo, people from different countries that have come in contact in this country. They care a lot about you. Unlike Nigerian men living in Ghana. Please, you guys should do better. You people should do better. I don't even know why. Let me not go far, but people should do better. People should do better. Nigerian men.
You know, when it comes to Ghana making a lot of people popular, it is something that has happened several times. Some people basically started here. Some people also came here and they got elevated, a whole lot of things. I can mention, at least off head, I can mention Pato Rankin, I can mention Mr. Easy, I can mention Victor AD. You know, there are a lot of Nigerians that have actually made it through Ghana, and bro, a lot of them. So Ghana has actually played a part. If I have to say, Ghana has actually played a part in making some Nigerian celebrities get to where they are today, and it's a fact. And let's go to this African American talking about you need certain people in your life, especially when you're living in Ghana, to help you resolve some issues of probably any type of issue. So you just have some couple of people that are Ghanaians in your life. I think it's true. So far as you are a foreigner, people tend to take advantage of you and all that. So they don't see you as an African American, someone who is basically coming by, like the way every African American coming into the country see it to be, oh, I'm coming to my people. The locals, especially the ones that are not much enlightened, they don't really know some of these stuffs. So they just see you as a foreigner and they just kind of try to take advantage of you in certain areas and all that. So it's better you have people like that around you. And the lady talking about the traffic lights, sis, Ghana, dear, I would say we thank God. The people are very calm. So when it comes to traffic lights, most of the people do not break those traffic rules. Even if it is in the midnight, they don't, because who knows, probably there might be a car coming from another direction and you want to cross and boom, there will be an accident. So we don't do that, and that's how Ghanaians are. Thank you so much for watching.